should you buy the Z Fold 5? Well, the answer is maybe, and I'm going to talk about that in this video because, well, we're in basically the last week of the pre-order period, and the pre-order period is very important. Why? Because you get extra freebies like extra storage, it saves you money, they have good trade-in values. So it's always important to try and evaluate this stuff. I know there's a lot of discerning viewers out there who've been watching a lot of videos, learning things about it, and trying to make an informed decision. It's a big purchase. I don't think anybody should go into something that costs $1,799 lightly. Now, this is the Z Fold 4, but there's a lot of similarities we can draw from the Z Fold 5 because the Z Fold 4 is basically the same phone as the 5 if you take the internals from this phone, the S23 Ultra, which I have spent an extensive amount of time with. So, and I also want to talk about another thing. There's folks out there who ask me, should I get rid of my S23 Ultra to get a Z Fold 5? And the answer to that question is probably no, but we'll get into that more in this video. So the whole premise of this video, should you buy one? And I think we're at a better place than ever when it comes to buying foldable phones. Of course, we have competition now. We have the Google Pixel Fold. We've got the OnePlus foldable phone, I believe called the Open, coming out sometime later this year. But we're on the 5th generation. That means we've had 5 years of these flipping, folding Samsung phones. And I think they've proven their durability. At least for me. I mean, I've had every single one of them. So coming from a place of having tons of experience, we have the Z Fold, the Fold 2, the Fold 3, the Fold 4, my Fold 5 will be here in about a week. I think we're in a better place than ever. They've proven that they've got a good track record. They're not falling apart. They're not breaking. Yes, I know there's onesies and twosies that have issues. And of course, that's with every phone. So I'm not too worried about that. But also, part of the pre-order process is getting the insurance, which if you pre-order, you can get 30% off at no extra cost. And of course, if you're interested in buying them, I have links in the description that will take you straight there if you want to buy one. But they've got some good stuff for the pre-orders, and that's part of this whole process is 1, should you buy one? And 2, if you should buy one, is now the right time to do it? Are the deals going to get better? I don't really think they are. And I say this historically because I've looked at this over the last couple of years. Usually pre-order is the best time to get one because you get that free storage upgrade. That costs extra money. So if you go ahead and pre-order the Z Fold 5, they'll give you the 512 for the cost of the 256. That's a good deal. That saves you money. You get 30% off whenever it comes to the insurance on it as well, the Samsung Care Plus, and it's really good. You need that, and I think it's really important. I highly recommend anybody that buys one of these phones that flips and folds and turns and does all these things, get the insurance. Because as much as I do believe that they're durable, accidents do happen. And you don't want to be stuck out in the wind holding a $1,799 brick if something outside the warranty happens to it. So there's that. So historically, the deals are best usually when they come out. Now, this wasn't the case with the S23, but Samsung has since swung things back around to the norm, and they're doing that. So, and also the link that I have, you have still the exclusive $50 off credit all the way up until the point of the pre-orders end. So that's also nice too, to save a little extra money. So you can save $50, you get the free storage upgrade, and you get 30% off whenever it comes to the Samsung Care Plus. Also, if you trade it in, you get a maximum value out of it. So if you've got an S23 Ultra, which I don't really recommend trading in, we'll talk about that, but S22 Ultra, they're giving $1,000. That's over like twice as much money basically as they were giving when the S23 Ultra came out. It was like $550 in. So the fact that they're giving $1,000 for that shows they really want to move these phones. And then if you trade in the Z Fold 4, $1,000. Now, I don't really recommend trading in year over year. Like, okay, there's not a lot of substantial differences between the Z Fold 4 and the 5 to really go out there and spend $1,000, like trade in your phone, get $1,000 and still pay $799 plus tax out of the pocket. You can do what you want with your money, but I just don't think that's a very good decision. So we've covered this. So we've got some good deals going on. Also, if you decide you want a tablet, you want other stuff, you bundle it together, the watch, you can save some money there as well. So if you want to get more products in the Samsung ecosystem, if you want to take advantage of the pre-order stuff, that's good. Because if you wait like 2 weeks from now, once it's here, you're not going to get the free storage. You might not get $1,000 trading credit. You're not going to get the discount on the savings when it comes to the insurance and all the other stuff too. So that's why I talk about this heavily during the pre-order period, because I want you to be able to make the best decision possible. I don't want you sitting on the fence going, oh, should I get this? You wait, and then you're like, shucks, it passed me by, and now I got to spend a couple extra $100 to get the exact same thing. So Should you buy it? Well, the foldables themselves, that's probably the bigger question, because a lot of people may not necessarily want a foldable. You might want to try it for the first time. Can you trust it? We talked about the reliability a little bit. With my experience, I really love the Z Fold 4. I had the Z Fold. I loved it. The Z Fold 2, it was a big upgrade. The Z Fold 3 wasn't too impressive to me, but the 4, they stuck a lot of things. Things started getting better. Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1. The battery life finally got it quite a bit better. Of course, I love the S Pen. And then you have this big, gigantic screen on the inside that you can use the S Pen with, and it's something that really takes the experience to the next level. Now, I have the S23 Ultra, and I've made... I don't hide the thing. I don't hide the fact that I don't ever use the S Pen on this thing. So I love the S Pen on the Z Fold 4. I don't like this tiny little thing. I feel like I'm holding a toothpick. I'm like a caveman holding a crayon trying to write on this stuff. Now, it is nice. I mean, it's great that you can write all over the screen. You can screen capture stuff. You can translate things. You can do notes, memos, draw, whatever you want. But I think that you need a bigger canvas for a screen. And that's where that's where the Z Fold 5 and 4 will come in. You get this big giant screen and you get a bigger stylus. Now, of course, they changed the stylus up for the Z Fold 5. They made it thinner. And then with the case, it kind of locks into it and sets flush instead of this hump that you have on the back. I know a lot of people don't really like this. There's a spot here that goes for the Samsung case on the back. You can pop it off. You can put a little stand on there. That's fine. It's worked great for me. I've had this case since day one. I've really enjoyed it. And I've taken this phone all over the world. I took it with me to Germany. I took it with me to Morocco. I've taken it to Seattle, San Francisco, New York, LA, all over the United States, all over the world. It's been to Iceland. It's been to Portugal, and it's held up well. This has been the best one they've ever made. So that gives me a lot of faith and confidence in the Z Fold 5. And the reasons I'm looking forward to it, I'm buying it because I'm a reviewer. Like normally, I probably wouldn't upgrade from this other than the fact that I'm a tech addict. And that's mostly what the outlet for this channel is. It enables me to talk about all the phones I love to buy. But for most folks, I don't really think it's a big upgrade from the Fold 4 to the Fold 5. But since I'm buying it, the things I'm looking forward to are the benefits that we got in the S23 series with the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2. It's so good. There's basically no heat issues that I've experienced. The performance is fantastic. Battery life, it took the S22 Ultra from a battery chump to a battery champ, even doing a lot better than my iPhone 14 Pro Max this year. So the S23 Ultra is a fantastic phone. So basically think of the Fold 5 as a folding S23 Ultra that you have a bigger stylus for. Now, there is a step back in the camera department. They've made updates, of course, because of the additional stuff with the sensor and taking availability for the computational photography, better stuff like with nightography, better night mode shots, less noise, all that great stuff. But the cameras are the same. It's the same physical cameras. We're just getting those processing updates. And I kind of liken that to Google. For the longest time, everybody knew they didn't necessarily have the highest quality camera in the world, but the stuff they did on the back end with the computational photography and the software elevated it to that next level experience. So from what we've seen so far and what we're expecting, it looks like there are some improvements when it comes to the Z Fold 5 camera. But I thought the Z Fold 4 camera was pretty good. The Z Fold 4 camera, I have really enjoyed. I thought they did a really good job with it. It's the same ones in the S22, and I think that we're going to get another good year out of it. Now, it's frustrating from my perspective because I'd like to see better stuff. If you're spending $17.99, you want these cameras. Why aren't the S23 Ultra cameras, a $500 cheaper phone, in this phone? And it has to do with the size, like the cameras, the lenses, the sensors. I mean, these things stick out pretty far, and they go pretty far into the phone, and they have a dedicated space there. Whenever you have a phone that's basically two halves like this, it's much thinner. You don't have the depth, you don't have the space, everything's kind of cramped in there. The battery is split. So there's a lot of things you kind of have to work around, and that's where it gets us. They can't put as big of cameras in there. Now, maybe they'll make cameras smaller as we go forward. We'll get higher quality ones. But I got to say, I was really disappointed we weren't getting much of an upgrade in the Z Fold 4 camera, and then it turned out to be really good. I took a lot of photos that I really loved. So we're really kind of at a point now where in 2023, halfway through it, that smartphone cameras are pretty darn good, surprisingly, right? So I expect the Z Fold 5 cameras to be very good, very serviceable, way better than average. It's just the frugal, the person who wants the most for their value kind of person that I am really feels like it's kind of a letdown at $17.99. But really what you're paying for is this. So if you want the big screen, you finally want to try it out, you like the S Pen, and you want to take advantage, get that new chip in there, the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2. It's going to have a lot better battery life. It's going to be great for gaming. I'm really looking forward to trying some gaming on it, and there's a lot of stuff I want to do with it. So I think there's enough reasons, if you've wanted to get a Fold, that the Fold 5 might be finally the one to go ahead and jump on board with Samsung. Of course, if you want, you can go get the Google Pixel Fold. I've got videos about that. They're kind of for different audiences. So I have one. I have the Pixel Fold here in my pocket, and the big glaring difference is the front screen. So big gigantic front screen over here, and then you've got the front screen over here. So thinner, taller, not as easy to work with. And then you've got this one right here, which is basically as wide as a normal phone, but a little bit shorter, and it really makes for wonderful one-handed usage. And so many people have been talking about how amazing the front screen experience is on the Pixel Fold, and I echo that. I like it a lot. And then you have this wider aspect ratio and setup, which some people like more, some people like it less. So there is competition out there. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're getting such good deals, because Samsung knows that, and they're trying to get people to buy their phones. Samsung wants you to buy a Samsung phone. I mean, it's not a secret. So the Z Fold 4, going to the Z Fold 5, there are things I'm looking forward to with it. I think it's the best one ever Samsung's ever made. And of course, it's like the same stupid thing that we hear with Apple. It's the fastest chip ever in an iPhone. Of course, it comes out with a new chip every year. And that's the same thing with a Samsung. They could sit up there and go, it's the fastest ever chip ever in a Samsung folding phone. It's the best camera performance ever in a Samsung folding phone. Yes, we all know that. It's very obvious. So, echoing all that, if you're interested in getting one, you've been on the fence, I think now's a good time to jump in the pool. Especially while the pre-order stuff is here, because you get the extra freebies, you get the savings, and you make your money work for you. You make your trade-in work for you. Because what they'll do after this is they'll pull back on those. And then they might come back probably around like Black Friday, the holiday, Thanksgiving shopping season, because then they really want to boost their numbers and they want to get the sales. But when they first come out, they really want to make a splash. Like, they really want to make a splash. They want to say, we sold this many, we got this much conversion, we got this many people that got the foldables. And the more that they can sell, the more they can keep competitors from putting their phones in their pockets. So I think right now, if you're interested in getting one, is the best time to buy one, and then you get to enjoy it. But if you don't want to get one, then don't buy one, right? There's a lot that people still are concerned with. Yes, it's only IPX8. It doesn't have any dust resistance that's rated for it. Now they have things they changed with the hinge. It's flat now. It doesn't have this gap in between, which of course you can't see because the case is on here. When the case is on the Z Fold 4, you can't see the gap. But there is a little bit of a gap in between there. They flattened that out. They made the screen more bright. And they've got a couple other internal updates under the hood, like the chip. So, yeah, I don't think it's much of an update from the Z Fold 4, but if I can't convince you not to upgrade, then go for it. You'll enjoy it. If you enjoyed the Fold 4, you're going to enjoy the Fold 5. And if you've never had a foldable phone and you're looking at it going, I'd like to try that, then I think now is probably the best time to do it, so you're not kicking yourself waiting around until the holidays to see if any other deals come out. Now, there'll probably be more deals once the OnePlus Fold, whatever it's going to be called, once it drops. Samsung's going to want to try and scalp those too. So they'll probably have some competitive sales then. But for now, this is, I think, as good as it's going to get. And I think that the offers are pretty good. I mean, the fact that you can trade in an S22 Ultra and get $1,000 trade-in credit, I think that's really good. Same thing with the S23 Ultra. And so the reason I say don't trade in your S23 Ultra, though, the S23 Ultra is such a good phone. It's such a good phone. You don't have anything to worry about. There's no folding components. It's got the biggest, best, most beautiful screen I think Samsung's ever made. It's got the same chip that's in it. It's tried. It's true. They've been good with the software updates. And it's just a great experience. So if you're happy with the S23 Ultra, and also it's not even a year old. It's barely 5 months old, 6 months old. Why would you trade in a $1,200 phone for $1,000 and then turn around and get a $1,799 phone and then be like, yeah, maybe I don't like it. But I will tell you, if you're interested and you think you might want to move over from your slab phone, go to your local Best Buy. Go to your Samsung Experience store. Go to your carrier. They will have the demo units, and you can look at them in person, get a feel for them, and be like, you know what? This seems like something that I could live with, because it's a very expensive phone. And it's going to be supported for 5 years. 4 years of operating system updates, 5 years of security patches. And I love them. And one of the biggest things, if you're a tablet person, I say this, I've said this for the last 2 years, the Z Fold 4 is the best tablet Samsung has made. The Z Fold 3 last year was the best tablet of the year for Samsung. Why? Because you get all the wonderful tablet experience in the palm of your hand, on the go, And then it's so much easier and convenient. Like you're on a plane, you're on a train, you're in an automobile, you're laying down in your bed. You don't have this big cumbersome tablet. If you just use tablets for like gaming or just for like having a bigger screen experience for your phone, this is where it's at. And I basically hardly use tablets anymore because I fell in love with having this smaller handheld size. It reminds me, like, I've wanted to have a Samsung Galaxy Tab Mini for the longest time, and this is effectively what it is. So if you want to do that, kind of that 2-for-1 experience, that's also a good opportunity to kind of enjoy that as well. So that's kind of my spiel on it. Don't go from the Fold 4 to the Fold 5, but if you have to, I hope you enjoy it. But right now, I think the Fold 5 is a really fantastic phone. From what I've seen about it, everything, I went and checked it out at the store the other day. I've pre-ordered mine, of course, and I'm going to cover it all throughout the year. And of course, again, if you're interested, I have links in the description. They'll take you straight there. Go for it. And if not, then, well, keep watching some videos, see what happens, and you have about a week left because it's going to start shipping on the 11th. And once they're actually available, the pre-order deals, they go away. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, of course, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. I hope that this was helpful. I hope it gave you some insight with my 5 years of foldable experience and the time that I've used them and made phone videos. Hopefully I helped steer you in the right direction. If not, please tell me in the comment section. I like feedback. Let me know what you think. As always, if you did find it helpful, if you like this, then please hit the like and the subscribe button and little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.